Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello, hello.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo, all right. Man, that was close. Because you don't know this, obviously, but you probably noticed, since we weren't talking during the countdown, we got here like 10 minutes before the show started.
Yeah.
I had to get everything set. And then Carla Marie sprung it upon me that she had images that she wanted to put on the screen that I wasn't allowed to see.
Yeah, so
during that countdown, I was trying to walk Carla Marie through the process.
Jersey.
What?
Walk
Carla Marie through the process of getting the images on the screen, but while not looking at the screen so as to not ruin some surprise that you have.
It's not a surprise. I just want you to have your general reaction. How do we see make the chat be out?
What?
Make the chat here.
Make the chat here.
Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show.
Hello.
At night. I'm Carla Marie.
My name is Anthony.
And we just came from the Seahawks Taste of Lumen event, which is really cool. You get to taste all the new foods and drinks at the stadium this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically had everything.
Yeah, I had as much as I could eat. I expected to eat way more, but I think maybe because I assumed the sample sizes would be smaller.
Yeah, so there's ramen.
They were giving us like half burgers.
There's ramen at the stadium, which is going to be awesome. We got to meet Cam Chancellor. I've been at events with him before, but I've never officially met him.
Very nice guy.
He is a former Seahawk, and he's a Seahawk legend. He's not like former where we don't like him. You know, he's in the fans.
But he is a former Seahawk.
Yes. And his burger, the Seattle Smash Burger, or the Bam Bam Burger and the Seattle Smash Burger will be available at the stadium this year. And
what I didn't know, and he mentioned this while our new best friend Cam was telling us about his burger. There is a bar, if you're familiar with the Seattle or East Side, like Bellevue area. There's a bar called Legion's Bar.
Legion
Bar and Grill, Legion Bar and Grill, something like that. And that's owned by, or at least partially by Cam, maybe Bobby Wagner, and Richard Sherman. A couple of the former players all
Oh yeah, because Richard Sherman was supposed to be there today too.
came together and opened up this
Legion
bar
Sports
lounge.
Bar.
Right. So some of the stuff that they were serving at their sports bar will now be served in the stadium,
Yeah.
which I think is a really cool
It's so-
progression for them.
I think that the Seahawks might be one of the only teams that does this because we also have Big Walt's fried chicken sandwich, and Walt is a former Seahawks player
Yep.
as well.
Walter
so
Jones.
there's a lot of different things that they have, where they community is a big
Yeah.
thing of the team, and they keep the former players involved with different things. And the food was so good.
Yeah.
And we got to hang out in the T-Mobile end zone, which is so nice. There's a
Yeah,
busy.
that'll be the only time that I'm there ever in my life.
It's true. There's like a balcony over the stadium, which is insane.
So the whole point of this event is not just to come in and sample like all of the stuff they have in the stadium for the season.
Right.
It's really, what do they call it? What's the event?
Home taste advantage.
Home taste advantage. And one of the things they try to do is there's a very large percent of the food offered in Lumen Stadium,
Lumen Field.
that comes within like it comes from like a 36-mile
It's
radius or
super
something
close.
like that.
Like you could leave the stadium and walk
Yeah.
almost to the actual place.
So like Tutabella is a local restaurant. They have locations there. Ballard Pizza Company is another one. And then obviously they work with some former players and stuff like that. But I love the fact that they do that because it really shows that they do care about the community, at least a little bit.
Right.
You
And
know?
it's not just like your Chick-fil-A's
Yeah.
in the stadium. Like you get some of that, but
That's probably the one thing, and maybe I just need to explore the stadium more. But you don't feel that when you go to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
what do you have? Domino's?
It's just your standard stadium food.
Oh my God.
You know,
Can you get sparklers in Vegas at the stadium?
you can actually.
Unbelievable.
Well, but
That's
you
so
have to
stupid.
be. So, and what Carla Marie's talking about.
Carler?
That's why I stopped and started again. What Carla Marie is talking about is, you know, if you go to a nightclub and you order a bottle, sometimes they'll present that bottle
Yeah.
with like women dancing on the shoulders of the bouncers, and they all bring out sparklers and all these different
Yes.
things. Like for my cousin's bachelor party that we had at one of the pools in Vegas, if you buy, I think it's like a $10,000 bottle or something like that, they basically bring a mini fire truck and that sprays champagne.
That's what got me in the eye at Chainsmokers.
So it's a presentation like that. But in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders play, there are seats. They're under my section, along the end zone, like on the field. And they're basically set up like club tables.
That's cool.
And you get like bottle service girls.
Is it like a
And-
booth? Like a comfy
Yeah.
booth? Shut up.
Yeah. And that's available during the game. And there's actually, I want to say it was the first season that they had fans there, so the 2021 season. There was a pretty famous or infamous now scene where a Raider scored a touchdown and like grabbed a champagne bottle
What?
from one of the tables and was like pouring because they thought they won the game, but they didn't end up winning the game.
That's the most Raiders thing
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. But it
Oh.
is really cool.
I forgot to add something to the list.
Go for it.
That
man.
reminded me.
Well, could we put the list up? I haven't looked at the screen this whole time, so
Oh,
I don't know
sure.
what people are saying in the chat.
Oh, they said they can't hear you? Your mic's not on.
I don't know what is being put on the list. I've got no idea what's going on.
Welcome to the Carla Marie Show.
Yep.
Make the list happen.
All right,
Producer
the list
Anthony.
is
Oh.
there. Bam.
Okay. Today, we're going to talk about September.
Okay.
That was for you.
So, if you are not familiar with Twitch, one of the ways you can support streamers like us and different creators is by subscribing to their channel. And for the month of September, subscriptions are discounted. There are different discounts, whether you want a 1 or 3 month stream, and then the discount gets even
Stream.
steeper.
Sub.
The discount gets even steeper, and you save even more money if you subscribe for 6 months.
Yes.
So you're paying for that 6 months all at once, but you're saving money on each of those.
And it don't worry, because I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but do you lose money off of that? We don't.
We don't.
It's
So the
cool.
way they do it is they work with usually a very big partner. So I believe it's this sounds redundant at this point now, but Legion is a gaming brand as well.
Different than the burgers.
Yes. And I believe they pay the difference or something throughout the month. So whatever money you save, Legion is paying that.
Yes.
Because obviously Amazon owns Twitch and they're not going to lose any money.
No.
That's not how that's a $1 billion company.
Thank you, Lisa, after listening to that great sales pitch from Anthony.
What else is on the list, Carla Marie?
We are going to talk about Fridgescaping today.
Okay.
Party of one.
Okay.
To be a flag family or not be a flag family, very hard for me to say.
Okay.
And PAX. You went to PAX this weekend.
I did, and I'll just cover that
Go
really
for
quick.
it.
So much fun.
Yeah, it
And
looks cool. And
one of the cool things, and I didn't even experience this part, but PAX is a huge gaming convention. There's one on the East Coast, I believe, in Philly.
oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
And then the other one is here in Seattle, and it's huge. And most of the major game makers will preview games, drop games, stuff like that. And you can sample a lot of the stuff before it's even available.
it's like Comic-Con, but specifically
for video games. But one of the other things they do is there's a whole section that just has consoles and consoles and consoles set up. And you can just walk in there. You go to basically a big game library and you ask the attendant there to give you one of the games that you want. They hand it to you and you can just go play for free.
Are they wearing bikinis and have sparklers when they bring in the game?
They should. I wonder if someone will be able to merge video game culture and real Vegas culture, like Vegas pool party culture, to one. Because they do have huge gaming
There's like
expos and like challenges
Yeah.
and championships all in Vegas.
Yeah, we saw that one place. It's crazy.
Well, at Luxor, they actually have a gaming arena.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I'm assuming at some point they will, right?
Think we can go to the gaming arena and play the words game?
The words game.
The words or
Oh,
timeout?
I don't think that's not how that works. Oh, speaking of which, I do need the mouse, Carla Marie. I need to set something
My
up.
headphone is missing its gummy.
Okay, well, I can't help you there.
Well, I just stuck this thing in my ear this whole time. I'm like, what is going on?
Let's get to Fridgescaping, shall we?
I need that back then.
Huh?
I need that.
Okay.
Do you need that?
No, go.
We each need a remote.
Let's go.
Okay.
I did miss out on Atari. Lenny from Queens was messaging me as I got there on Sunday. Or was it Monday? Monday, whatever day. And I guess one of his friends was working at the Atari booth.
Oh.
But service in there was terrible.
Oh, it's impossible. They need to fix that.
I don't know if it's concrete walls or the fact that there's so many people using the internet in that
Concrete
place.
Walls. Isn't that a JC song?
They opened up for Pearl Jam back in the
They
day.
opened up for Metallica here in Seattle this weekend.
So we were talking, and I was going to try to meet one of his buddies, but it didn't end up working out.
Okay.
Still a lot of fun.
I am about to, I think, ruin everyone's day.
All right.
You have heard of tablescapes,
No.
where, you set up your table, or it's like your design at your wedding, and your tablescape, like it's got your napkin and your charger plate and the perfect matching fork
Like a
and
table
knife.
setting.
Tablescape.
What's the difference between a tablescape and a
Because
table
it's
setting?
got like decorations and stuff. Okay, wait.
So it's useless.
You've heard of manscaping?
Yeah.
You've heard of
Very familiar.
maybe gardenscaping, where you
You
add
mean
like little
landscaping?
gnome. No, they're like your garden, not land. Different than land.
Okay.
Garden. You got gnomes. You've got different little things in
Okay.
your garden, like trinkets.
Okay.
Now there is Fridgescaping. Can you take a guess what Fridgescaping is?
Gnomes in your fridge?
Close.
Okay, what is Fridgescaping?
Okay, this trend started on TikTok. And a woman was like, I decorated my whole house. I had nowhere else to decorate. So I started decorating my fridge. Now, what I will say is that it's picking up. Other people are starting to do it. It looks pretty, but it's your
Well, do you
refrigerator.
Are these the pictures
Here we
you were
go.
posting?
Here's one photo.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready, Anthony?
Yeah.
So as you can see in this refrigerator,
Is that a picture frame?
there is a picture frame with a photo in it.
Is that Jesus? Like, is that like a
No,
religious
it's-
picture frame?
No, I think it's like Marie Antoinette, one of those things.
Okay.
Now, what I do like that they did is like, it's cool bowls, right? So we have just regular Pyrex. Like if we really
Like
wanted
normal people,
to,
yeah.
right? Those, I can't tell what those jugs are.
Tax the rich.
Tax.
Eat the rich. This is insane. If you are doing this in your home, please put the picture down for a second.
Hold on.
Put it down. if you are doing this, you have too much money and too much time. You need to do hard labor in a mine and you need to be stripped of your bank account. If this is how much money you have and how much time you have where you can afford to get fancy, decorative Pyrex bowls in your fridge.
No, I think that's like
and
not
pictures
Pyrex.
of
That's
Marie
like,
Antoinette from the Louvre. You have too much of time and money.
Fred the Mailman said, this is definitely not brown people stuff. Okay,
no.
Are you ready for the other? This is the same person's
Brown people stuff, as a brown person, I can say this. You're lucky if you get the Cool Whip Tupperware.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's the type of life I'm living.
Now,
on purpose.
I don't know if this is the same fridge, but these are close-ups.
Oh, boy.
What
do we got?
No, it's a different fridge. That's a different person. Just maybe the same.
This looks like...
Look at their, like, ugly-ass sriracha bottle, though. That's what ours looks like. But how are you going to have all this pretty stuff with your ugly-ass sriracha bottle?
First, I'm going to say this. They have way too many carrots for a normal household. But what are those carrots, like, dipped in milk on the right? What is this thing here? Yeah, you got the...
This?
Yeah, all the way in the right middle shelf.
No, I think it's just milk, and there's just a thing on... Like, there's just green stuff sitting on top. There's nothing dipped in it. That's a tag.
One... Okay, sorry. Is there a candle?
Oh, yeah, that's a candle. I don't know if it's fire candle. It's probably a battery candle.
Yeah, it's definitely a battery candle.
How's your fire start? Well,
I was about to say, this one doesn't bother me that much. It's just
But there's a frame in the back.
Stop it. Stop it.
I would knock so much over. I'll be honest, though.
But also, how do you use this fridge? Right? Because the second you take one carrot...
I have those scallions.
Now your carrot bloom is all effed up.
I have those scallions in that plastic mermaid cup in the back of our fridge. That's the extent of my fridge.
That's got to go at some point.
No, but you know what, though? We have, like, Pyrex that is... It's red, blue...
Carla Marie?
Whatever. Like, how cool would it be?
It wouldn't be. I'm stopping you right there.
Like
nope. I'm Stop it.
Like pretty
I'm stopping
colors.
you right there.
Hold on, there's more.
I'm stopping you right there. It wouldn't be cool.
No, I don't want to see red and blue. I would like to see like millennial colors, like neutrals. You know how like kids today don't have rainbow toys? Everything's neutral, which is bad for their brains, but it's okay. Okay, look at this cute little spot of the fridge. They put a little mushroom trinket in their celery.
Wait a second.
Oh, we could.
I think I have this all wrong. I am sorry. I messed up. Earlier, I said that you have too much food or too much money
maybe.
And too much time if you can do that to your fridge. But put that last picture back up, Carla Marie. I think I may have been gravely mistaken. If you have enough space in your fridge to put that piece of wood
with the deer
with a flower pot of some sort or some, I don't know, essential oils, whatever's in there, maybe you actually don't have money for food and you're just trying to fill your fridge
I just
with
have
trinkets.
so many questions. Then this is the final one.
Give me a good,
but you know what I just thought of?
New Jersey Italian decoration in the freezer where you're just stashing your money in there, right? Because you don't want the feds to get it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see stashed in fridges and freezers.
We can't have flowers out and about in our house because of the cats. They eat them, they'll die.
Correct.
I think when people give us flowers, I'm going to start putting them in the fridge.
What if we have food in the fridge?
Food's got to go. Okay,
what is the chat saying? I haven't looked at it.
Okay, last one. There is a bust, a photo.
Okay. I'm convinced this isn't real.
Mish is countering your they must be poor.
Yeah.
Because they said, where did the money come from for the trinkets?
Goodwill.
Honestly, yeah, I was going to say.
Goodwill. If you want trinkets.
Goodwill and Fridgescape.
No.
And then we just donate it back.
No. I will not participate in any of this.
I want to, but I kind of want to mess with my parents somehow and be like, look what I did.
That would be funny. Do it in someone else's home.
The fridge, of our house and be like, look what I did. My parents would be like, what are you doing? Like, go to work.
What if you got for your mom, you got some Elvis cups and you put carrots in there? Apparently carrots are the way to decorate your fridge.
My mom has we have an Elvis bust, just like this person, but it is Elvis Presley. It is scary. It's been in our home since I was a child. It is Elvis Presley, but instead, I'm going to put it in the fridge next time I'm home. She's going to go, Carla, why is Elvis in the fridge?
I've had this theory for a long time. And before I expand on it, I need to ask you a question, Carla Marie. The person whose TikTok video you saw, this was a woman?
Yeah, but this is a whole article I read on CNN about it.
Okay, the Instagram, though, where this is all stemming from, what does the account holder of that TikTok look like? We know they're a woman, right?
Lindsay Judish.
Okay. What does she look like? Do you see her face at all?
Hold on.
Her hair?
Go into her. I didn't. Okay, this is her.
What do we got?
Hold on. Yes.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
She's brunette.
Oh, brunette.
Possibly younger than I am.
Okay. Skin color?
White.
Okay. Do we know if she's got a husband, kids, something? Another hobby other than decorating refrigerators?
She has a dog, so you can't call her a childless cat lady.
Okay. I wasn't going to go with that.
She gardens, so it looks like it's at least she doesn't have to buy the produce.
So here's where I'm going with this. I've had a theory for a long time.
This video has 1.6 million views.
That bored, suburban, white women are a menace.
No,
They're an
she's not.
absolute menace to society.
I don't think she's that at all.
No?
But this is, no.
That is a bored, suburban white woman.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Treating wood and baskets for Fridgescaping. She has a whole video on how to...
No.
I bet the temperature in the fridge is not good. Oh, look at the ceiling in her home. It's stars. Well, I'm going to follow her. I love her aesthetic.
I get it. I mentioned how she was a bored, suburban white woman.
Now, there are...
And maybe that's her hobby, but that's a menacing hobby.
Well, to whom?
To the world. You shouldn't share that type of information with the world. That's what a menace does. A menace makes people feel like they need to start decorating their refrigerators.
Okay, so Lindsay Judish had decorated nearly every corner of her New York home. I don't know where in New York. From the ceiling.
That's a big state.
From the ceiling of her dining room, that's the one I just saw, to the tiny crow's nest on her top floor. Is she putting little busts in the crow's nest?
Okay.
All that was left to spruce up was the inside of her refrigerator. So she started Fridgescaping. The article goes on to say, it delighted and enraged TikTok viewers who either swoon over the romantic scenes at 35 degrees or fume at the apparent inanity? Come on, what word is that? I've got to add it to the list. Of curating a space most people will never see. But, like, think about how many times you open your fridge. Like, wouldn't it be nice to open your fridge and be like, oh, it's cute in there?
No.
I want to live in, like, I would love to they could decorate my house like this.
When I open my fridge, I have one goal. I want to see what food is in there. I want to access it easily. I don't want to have to move a picture frame and a bust from some Roman sculptor.
This woman does not live in a New York apartment, Lenny. She has a whole land outside, so it's probably upstate.
If she lived in a New York apartment, I would almost make an exception and say she has nowhere else to keep her stuff. She's living in an 800 square foot apartment.
Start putting my mail in there.
She's got nowhere else.
So she said recently she started theming her fridgescapes, so she switches them out. So I think those were her different, like that was all her fridge at different times. She'll do things like Bridgerton and call it Fridgerton.
This makes it even worse. I'm going to tell you why.
She'll swap out condiments and unsightly cartons for fridge-safe decor, like picture frames and figurines. But where did the condiments go? Like if you were
That's the question we're all asking. Where's her food?
What
does she eat?
She said, I feel like I've made very unintentional rage bait.
Yes.
Oh,
so
Fridgescaping wasn't born on TikTok. Judish credits Kathy Perdue, a retired designer and former lifestyle blogger, with inventing the term in a 2011 blog post. Perdue's version of Fridgescaping was much more subdued. She merely cleaned out her fridge before a grocery trip and stored produce and
Are you having a stroke?
Stored her produce in fashionable vessels.
The vessel, I get it. If you've got like a cool little vase or vase, however you want to pronounce it, and you want to put your celery in there.
That's such a good.
Whatever.
I'm going to do that.
But we've got to draw the line somewhere as a society.
Like we don't have a full size refrigerator.
No.
But it's not like a mini fridge. It's not a college fridge.
Anyway, the size of our refrigerator.
No, it does matter because how am I going to Fridgescape?
You're not. If we had a walk-in refrigerator, it would still not be Fridgescaping it. That is insane. That is what a menace does. That's what an insane person does.
My parents have 2, 3, 4 refrigerators and a freezer.
And they don't have room for one picture frame.
But you best believe, because my brother used to do this thing for the longest time, is randomly start turning around picture frames at my parents. And my mom, like, see how long it would take my mom to notice. Forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to take stuff and put it in all of their refrigerators. That they're going to start thinking each other is going insane.
Felipe in Miami, Florida said, let's do cabinets next. Escape the cabinets.
I got no room to do that.
Millions of views, most likely. Probably.
I'm going to do Fridgescape, but I'm going to put like, I'll get in trouble.
What
I
if
was gonna
you,
put a cat
you know what
in
you
there.
should do? Under the bedscape. Create like a little panorama under your bed. Like a little fantasy woodland area. You get some fake
But
moss.
I can't see that.
But that's the whole point.
I see the refrigerator.
Yeah, but you could always peek under
Can
your
I
bed
be like,
and
hey guys,
oh, there's...
I'm going to Fridgescape today and open it and all the cats are in there and then I'd go to jail, right?
Yes, probably. Yeah, not a panorama, a diorama.
Yeah, I was just
Thank
picturing
you.
a very wide space.
Could be. It's a bed. If you go a long ways, it makes sense.
Oh, maybe we can showerscape actually, because then we can that's a good spot. You can put shelves. People do that and then they hang their, what's that thing that cats can't have?
Lavender? I don't know.
They do hang in that. Eucalyptus leaves. They get fresh eucalyptus, hang it from their shower head. It looks so cute.
Here's what everyone needs to understand.
Carscape.
I'm going to say this as your friend. I'm going to say this as someone who cares about you. You need less stuff. You need to scape less stuff. You need to just clear stuff out. Okay?
Well, yeah, we took
Just
all of our magnets off the fridge.
If you never listen to another thing I say, just keep that in your mind.
Yeah,
Lock it away in your heart.
You deskscape. Thank
What?
you, Juan.
That's not desk scaping.
No, you deskscaper.
Get out of here.
Deskscaper, deskscaper.
Get rid of stuff.
I took off.
Stop buying stuff.
I was filming a video and I took all the magnets off of our fridge because it looked super busy. And we were like, yeah, we're not putting all those magnets back on.
I legitimately felt healthier. I don't know if that makes sense. I felt like a healthier person with less shit on the fridge.
But I stole so many of those magnets from my mom to see if she would notice.
But think about it, Carla Marie.
Not.
Think about how much better you felt with just the magnets on the outside of your fridge, not there.
No, I'm going to put one. You got me some trinkets in Japan. I'm going to put the little cat.
I didn't get you trinkets.
Oh, we'll put these cats in there. Where are they? I'm going to put the Seahawks on Sunday. The Seahawks helmet in the fridge.
All right. Here's what we have to do. My brother Michael joined the chat recently, Carla Marie. And he was asking if we have done a fantasy football recap.
I wanted to. I didn't put it on here.
We do have to, because Carla Marie made a huge mistake by trusting the wrong person.
Yeah.
Not me. Well, you know what? Let's just go to our break for a second.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. 50 seconds, and we will be back. According to the thing I got in front of me. That's big.
What?
What?
I can't wait to Fridgescape as soon as I get home.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take every trinket in the house. I got that little elephant that I got at your family's white elephant.
Why didn't you just throw it out?
What? I'm not throwing out it's a good luck elephant.
Oh.
Its trunk is up. I have that little horseshoe in the front of the house.
Throw it out.
No, fridge it. Well, maybe I'll put cute stickers on our Brita.
All right. I feel like this ad counter's taking forever.
We'll just come back.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hi. I'm Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And if you missed it before, Carla Marie introduced us to Fridgescaping. The stupidest thing I think I've ever seen. But there's another household trend much, much older than Fridgescaping. And this has been around since like the dawn of time.
We're not doing fantasy football, or that is fantasy football.
We could do whichever one we want.
Well, you started that.
So show everyone what you got, Carla Marie.
So at the Seahawks food tasting event, they were given.
This is huge. So this is from a Seahawks hosted event at Lumen Field. It's a giant 12s flag.
Woo! See!
Hawks. So if you're not familiar, the fans call themselves the 12s because there are 11 people on a football field. So they are the 12th man, if you will.
And the loudest.
And it's huge actually here in Seattle. I know that
You see these flags everywhere.
you do see the flags everywhere. You also see people wearing 12 jerseys with just the word fan on the back.
Yes.
Like that's a
It's
common
cool.
thing to see.
Yeah, the number
in
12
Seattle.
is retired.
So, Carla Marie gets this flag and immediately starts looking up like flagpoles for the home that we both live in.
Yeah, I said we gotta hang a flagpole.
And I said, listen, and I don't want to insult anyone who might do this. I just don't envision myself being a flag house.
He said, I will never be a flag family.
Yeah, that's just like, that's not the life that I think I want to live. I don't want to be the flag family on the block.
And I said, but then we can have a house divided flag because there's that company that makes the custom ones. It would be a Seton Hall and Rutgers flag combined.
Growing up.
No, we had an American flag. I feel like we only got it after 9/11.
That's the only one that I would agree with putting up. And I think my family also had one after 9/11. That was more for protecting us, I think, than anything else. To be honest with you. I don't think we had one before 9/11 at my house. But I think for a very brief time we had one afterwards.
My mom would always put like the small ones in the lawn.
We had to tell all the white people around us we were some of the good ones. But
college dormit hanging in the window. I can't do that, Sonali. I did that in college, though.
I want people, whenever I have like a house with a yard, like I want people to look at my home and know nothing about me.
No, when it's your birthday, we have to get the happy birthday Anthony big signs.
I don't need the New York Yankee or the Las Vegas Raider like garden gnomes.
No, we're getting it all.
I don't need.
We are landscaping.
Nothing.
We are gardenscaping.
I want nothing. I want zero distinctive items outside of my home.
As much as I don't want the clutter either. Like I don't want what my parents have. As I tell them, they are having a garage sale in the backyard because they have every
your mom has
trinket. Like they poolscaped.
Yeah,
my parents poolscape. So around the pool, there's a million trinkets.
Yes, there's gnomes and there's like all the different garden
frogs,
statues you can have, right?
All the things, and she paints them herself, which is cool. She'll
That's
repaint
great,
them.
yeah.
Like it's like kind of her hobby. So I love that for her. Bought her a paint kit and a little ceramic things to do on herself. For her
by herself.
But I would like it to be nice and like manicured. Our garden looks so cool because Weed Woman did a garden design, a gardenscape of cool plants.
Yep.
And I want to start putting, because she put little stepping stones in there for us. We have the ceramic cat that I painted at the ceramic class. I think we have a little 12 flag we can stick in there until we get our flagpole.
Listen, the two things that came up in the chat. One was from Lenny, who said, "What if they were Pokemon gnomes?" I would still say no.
We can put him in there.
I don't need anything outside. And then I think it was Becky from Miami said, "I have a Miami Dolphins gnome, the garden gnome." That's great. Have it if you like it.
Yeah, but
this is not like the Fridgescaping. If I find out you Fridgescape, I'm going to judge you as a human being. But if I find out you have a team-specific garden gnome or a flag, that is your home. Enjoy it. That's for you. You love the style.
So when you go to that bachelor
not for
party
me.
in September,
Yeah.
you're going to come home to a 12 flag, a garden.
I'll come home to a new home. I'll go somewhere else. I will. There's a micro apartment not too far from us.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, like $700 a month?
I don't know.
It's less than I pay to live with
Definitely
you.
more than that.
So-
Oh, really? I got to send you a Venmo request.
AMS said, oh, in response to Becky from Miami, said, my husband collects Miami Dolphins gnomes.
What?
And I get it. A lot of people, like I have a friend, his name's Andrew, someone we used to work with at iHeartRadio. Lives on Staten Island, or I think might live in Long Island now. He's an island guy.
On Long Island.
On Long Island.
I need to just make sure that
He,
we don't
every
get stabbed.
season, will have, the light post banners that people have?
Oh, yeah.
It's like their lawn has a light post, and it comes out a little bit, and it just hangs down. He has one for all of the teams that he likes, and he will rotate them throughout the season.
That's right.
That's great. That's his thing. God bless you.
Have
Just,
you seen
I just don't want to be a flag family or
Give
a
me that.
flag house.
Give me that thing, the clicker.
The keyboard?
Yeah.
There you go.
This is a company emailed me. I never responded. Don't look at it for a second. But because I was like, what am I going to do with this? But now that I'm feeling this. Don't look.
I'm not looking
You're
yet.
looked.
I'm not looking yet.
I think.
I'm not a peeker, by the way. You told me not to look. I'm not looking.
But how bad do you want to?
I don't.
Okay, hold on.
That's what it's like when people are like, oh, I have a secret, but I can't tell you. I go, okay. I don't need to know.
Okay, hold on. I'm an ad image pro.
I think the less I know and the less I see in life, the better off I am.
People are going to know exactly what this is when they see it because it's big in the suburban mom world.
In the what?
Suburban mom world.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, is it live? Are we on it?
I don't know because I can't look
it's
at the
there.
screen.
It's a
Oh,
porch
boy.
goose.
A porch
So
goose.
the goose is technically naked, but then you get all these outfits for it,
Oh,
like an American
no.
Girl doll. It's
Oh,
from
no.
Miles Kimball, which we know very well because
What
I
is
think
Miles Kimball?
I don't know. I think they were a thing you would sell school stuff with. But look, there's
Oh, so you could have there's pumpkin outfits.
Halloween goose. You can put a little raincoat on them. The bikini,
The
like
Christmas
you saw,
tree
a
goose.
football goose. So you buy all these different outfits.
And is it one goose?
Sorry, Gaggleville is the trademark goose.
But there's one goose. So all of the outfits.
Yeah, like an
Fit this
American
goose.
like an American Girl doll or Barbie, but it's a goose.
If
So
this
they
is what
emailed
makes
me
you
and they want
happy,
to send me a goose and some outfits.
if this is what makes you happy, and I don't live with you, then by all means, do it. However, if this makes you happy, and I do live with you, there's a decision that's going to have to be made.
Claire said
Me or the goose. That's what's going to have
I
to be
think
made.
we need the garden goose.
Now, is this company paying you to put the goose outside?
No, I don't think so. They were
That's
just...
no.
Anyway, Claire said her coworker, an older white lady, does this and changes it out every season.
Like I said, if this is you and you like this and we don't live together, by all means, I love you. Go for it.
The big event 64 said I choose the goose. New debate.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Is that it for the goose? Is that it for the home decor?
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Nope.
I don't know
Nope.
what that means. Is gander a kind of goose?
Don't you have cats to dress up, says Lenny from Queens.
You know how many times I've almost bought the cat hats recently? They're only $6.
And
Anthony's like, put it back.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need a man to tell me how to spend my money.
You don't. You don't. You do need a man to get things from the top shelf for you, so you better hope they don't get stored there. So, I want to pivot to fantasy football for a second. I know it's not on the list. We still have Party of One that I want to get to. Also, it is September. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, but you want to, and you pay for your subscription, you can do that right now, and you'll save a little bit of money. The 1 to 3 month subscriptions, they have a certain discount. And then if you get a 6-month subscription, you'll save even more money, but you do have to get all of those subscriptions up front and pay for them at the same time. Fantasy football draft. Carla Marie joined my fantasy football. And keep in mind, there is no money on the line in this fantasy football league.
Legally couldn't do it if that was the case.
We just talk shit to each other, basically.
I know, there's no group chat or anything.
Yeah, your family operates a lot different than my family does. I do believe there's a WhatsApp chat somewhere that my family is in.
Let me in.
I just choose not to be a part of it because I don't like the app.
Well, I had to double confirm everything with your brother, Michael, because you are not great at relaying information.
Fair. Okay.
And
what information were you not aware of?
The time of the draft.
I sent you the page that had all the information.
Oh, I didn't get that. Anyway.
It was the link that you signed up with. You sign up and it says this is when your draft is.
Well, you didn't tell me it was a Superflex PPR.
That's new. That's new this year.
So
Superflex.
I didn't really know what any of that meant.
So explain it to the people that don't know.
Superflex means you can play 2 quarterbacks at the same time.
So, yes. To dive a little deeper, normally on your fantasy football roster,
yes,
you have 2 spots that are flex players. That means you can put in a wide receiver, running back, or tight end in that spot. A super flex allows you to put a quarterback in that spot as well. So, in theory, you can have 2 quarterbacks on your roster.
Which, great. So, I then learned, thanks to your brother Michael, about PPR, points per
reception.
Yeah, I think that's the one. So you get 4 points if it's like a quarterback touchdown, like all these things. And I was like, okay, this is day of.
This is your first fantasy football ever?
Ever.
Okay.
I may have done one in college, but I don't know. I've done fantasy hockey before. Puck Bunnies, that was my team.
Okay.
But I've never done fantasy football. So I was like, I don't know what any of this means. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, ask this shithead because I don't ask it to do anything to tell me how to draft a super flex PPR team.
Yes.
And then I also said, I asked it, okay, what if this player's gone? What if this, I was asking it all these questions and I was like, what if a bunch of these positions are gone? It was.
And we have to mention, by the way, you had the first overall pick in this draft.
First overall.
So you had everyone available to you.
And what I did learn, and I did my first draft, my first pick was great, I will say. Because I did learn in this kind of league, you want to draft a quarterback first because
you're going to need 2 of them.
You need 2 of them. So I went with Mahomes first.
Okay, not bad.
And ChatGPT told me that second, I should go with Austin Eckler, which it did say was on the Washington Commanders.
Yes.
Has he always been there?
No, he played in, I think he had his best year with the Chargers. Maybe?
I think that's what it told me anyway. Maybe that should have been my sign.
I think his best years were with the Chargers a couple of years ago.
So it comes around. So
by the way, Austin Eckler is a running back. Been in the league for a little bit now.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know this, but whatever ChatGPT says, I don't know anything about him. Yeah. I don't know this guy. Now I know Seahawks running backs. I know other teams. I know whatever. It's telling me this is the second guy to get. So, and how it works is everyone goes and then it comes back to me and I get to pick 2 back to back. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, these idiots didn't pick Austin Eckler. My second pick is here. Boom, get him, get someone else. I keep moving.
Yes.
And I start drafting my whole team after that based on just who was left and the amount of predicted points that they had for the season.
Can you give me the mouse real quick?
Plus a bunch of Seahawks. Okay. I do have a lot of Seahawks on the DK Metcats, which is my team name. Then after, I get a text from your brother, Michael. And he said, care to explain Eckler? And I thought he was very confused as to how I knew to pick this guy. And I was like, I don't know. ChatGPT told me to pick him. And I said to Anthony, your brother just asked me, why did I pick Eckler? And you said I was confused by why you did that too.
So when Carla Marie explained to me, because I was a little confused that Austin Eckler was that high up on your draft board and that you took him in that spot. But it all made sense because when you told me that you asked ChatGPT,
I didn't tell him to laugh.
I said, well, what version? How did you access ChatGPT? For example, if I use ChatGPT on my Windows laptop, which is up to date with all the different updates, I can use a version of Copilot that uses one of the more updated versions of ChatGPT. However, if you're on an Apple device and you're not paying for ChatGPT, generally speaking, all the information that you're getting was loaded in up until about 3 or 4 years ago.
So it was telling me how to draft the team.
Yeah.
And of course, it still said Mahomes first.
Yes.
Like if it would have said a quarterback that didn't exist, I'd have been like something.
Tom Brady.
I'd been like, you idiot. Here's where I messed up. I didn't even use the regular Google. Not once. I think I only used it when I was deciding between two players. So I picked a guy who was supposed to be real good 3 years ago.
Yes.
As my second pick.
Yes.
But like my team's not bad, I thought. Then Fantasy Football Yahoo, who even uses them, emailed me telling me I was the worst. I got a D-. What did they say?
So what Carla Marie is talking about is her draft grade that the computer will analyze everything, run it through some AI model, and tell you what your draft grade is.
The headline for my draft.
Yes.
The DK Metcats fumbles to the bottom with disastrous draft. Like, could they be more dramatic?
What do you got?
I got a D-. The DK Metcats managed to score a solid D-, setting the stage for a season projected to end in the cellar at 12th place, which would be last.
So they expected to finish last.
But which is insane because you're only projected to beat me by 5 points this game.
Yeah. I'm not great.
But I'm glad that, you know what? That's a great segue. So I have been texting my brother-in-law, Sal. He does fantasy football. Like, they have the thing. Everyone gets together. They do all of it. I was texting him before. I didn't mention a player for my second pick. I was just saying the position. He's like, yeah, go running back second, which I don't know why Austin Eckler never came out of my mouth or text to him. So I show him my team, and he goes, but why do you have so many tight ends? And I said, I was asking Anthony during this, because I've never done this before, for all my bench player spots. Should I have more running backs, more wide receivers, more tight ends? And Anthony just kept going, doesn't matter.
I said.
I find out after that this man is coming last place every year in this football league.
Not every year, just most years. Just most years I don't make the playoffs. I don't think I've actually made the playoffs in this league. I have won fantasy football once, though.
If I lose to your cousins that don't even live in America,
and here's the thing, I wasn't purposefully sabotaging Carla Marie, like is being suggested in the chat. You simply asked me, hey, can I take a tight end here? I said, if the tight end is the best available player to you, then yes, select him.
Okay, your brother, Michael, would like me to read the report. What is his team? The Big Red?
Big Red Machine, I believe, is Michael's team, yeah.
Well, I didn't screenshot all of it, so I'll keep going, though. Despite holding, they expect to be last place.
This is yours, you're saying?
Yeah. Despite holding the coveted first pick, their selections seem to defy logic. That's pretty much how I run my life. With a projected record of 3-11-0 and a meager 2,200.12 points on the horizon. To add insult to injury, the schedule difficulty ranks the 11th toughest out of 12 teams, making the road ahead even bumpier. The draft room witnessed some eyebrow-raising decisions, including reaching for Austin Eckler at the 24th pick when the ADP was a distant 108. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
What? What's the ADP?
ADP is a way to rank the players, and I guess
so they
were saying that his was 108, yes.
A move that left many scratching their heads.
Average draft position is ADP.
108 when I picked him at 24th.
Yep.
On the brighter side, Jalen Waddle, I got him right after, provided a glimmer of hope as the best pick at 49. So you're telling me my 25th, I picked number 49, but 24th.
But that's also, there is going to be some distance between your actual pick and some of the positions you choose, because at some point you're going based on your needs to fill out your roster.
Well, yeah.
So picking a 49th ranked or whatever average pick at 25 or 26 isn't terrible.
Then it said, however, the real head scratcher came in the form of drafting a whopping 4 tight ends, doubling
you had 4?
I did have 4.
I didn't know
but
you
then
had that.
Thank you to my mentor Michael, who was like, just drop one of them, pick somebody else up right now.
I didn't realize you had 4. If I knew you had
no, I wrote it all out and I said, Anthony, I have this many this many this many this. What should I go for? And you just kept going. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I will never ask you for. I don't even know why I didn't just trust my own gut.
You should have. Why would you ask your week 1 opponent, who you should be
It's
drafting.
true. So we played.
This is your fault.
I'm so excited though because I've never done the fantasy football. Even though I'm allowed to be in leagues that don't have money, I feel like I'm gonna get fired from the Seahawks just because it feels weird.
Let's see. Jordan Puyallup said our friend drafted 8 Seahawks players and 6 of them are her starters.
I love that.
She got an F as well as her draft grade.
I'm D-. Not as well.
Well,
Okay, so my team:
who do you got?
Patrick Mahomes, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, Austin Eckler, K9.
That's
Kenneth,
cool.
Kenneth Walker.
That's a good pick.
Who's this guy? Something Ferguson. Never heard of him. Jake Ferguson. He's a tight end for the Cowboys. Supposed to be real good this year.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley.
Yes.
He was a good one.
Is he on the Titans now?
Yes.
Okay.
Devin Singletary on the Giants, running back. Trevor Lawrence is my second quarterback.
Okay. Good pick.
I know. I like him. Cade Otten. I keep going to call him Cotton because his name is Cade Otten.
Okay.
So Cotton, because that's what it looks like
Yeah.
on here. He's a tight end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tyler Lockett.
Another Seahawk. Okay.
Very excited.
So is that your third Seahawk? You have K9, DK, and Lockett.
Yeah.
All very good players.
Right. Then I have Tyler Conklin from the Jets. Doesn't have a lot of stars. Jabril McLaughlin. Gardner Minshew as my backup QB. Oh, he's on your team.
He is. He's a Raider. He's the
And-
starting quarterback for the Raiders, actually.
Xavier, how do you say it? Leggett?
Oh, I don't know.
Leger?
I don't even know who that is.
He's on the...
What position is
Oh,
he?
wow.
Another tight end?
Why did I draft somebody from the Panthers? Oh, that's who your brother told me to get.
Who is he? Like, what does he play?
Wide receiver.
Okay.
And then I
Rookie
got...
wide, Michael says rookie wide receiver for Carolina.
So he probably is not going to get to the ball a lot. Michael, were you sabotaging me?
He might
And then
be.
I got Justin Tucker as my kicker.
And who's your
and,
defense?
Dallas Cowboys.
I couldn't
You
really.
helped me with that. Because I didn't understand how the defense works.
I think the Cowboys are a pretty solid bet for a defense.
Is that why Michael told me to pick him? You have to hear him speak. He has an amazing Southern drawl.
Oh, is it that guy? He's been in a
Is
lot
he
of
like
viral
Spoon?
videos.
Like Devin Witherspoon? Same thing?
No, it's like it's sometimes you can't even understand
You
him.
can't understand Spoon.
Okay, maybe it's very similar.
But Spoon is like South Florida, like it's. I got to hear this guy.
Yeah,
I bet he was the same.
I don't know where this rookie from Carolina is from originally.
I will say that it was. There were players that I was like, I could have got Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that's Jordan calling us. Is
Oh,
the
I
phone
got to
connected?
get it set up here.
I was like, we just got a phone call from the same person at the same time. Jordan, hold on.
Jordan, hang up and call back in a second.
There was like Aaron Rodgers was available, and I was like, I hate you.
Well, also, listen, Aaron Rodgers could have a very good season with the Jets. They've put a decent number of weapons
He's
around him.
97 in football years.
He is 42, I believe,
So 97.
and coming off of a torn Achilles. Now, he's not someone who has to be super mobile if
Because he's got a good arm.
everything works, but it's a tough sell.
And I was like, you know what? If I lose just because I didn't want to have to root for the Eagles at any point in time. So I have not a single Eagle on my team. I didn't want to have to root for Aaron Rodgers. I've never liked the man in my entire time of knowing he existed. And then top kicker was Harrison Butker. And I was like, no, I hope your foot falls off when you kick.
So this is one of my problems with fantasy football, and it's why I don't get like fully into it, and why I'll only do one team per season. We know people who will do 9 teams.
So insane.
And it gets to a point where you can't enjoy any game because you're now like rooting for the weirdest scenarios possible because you need a player to score a certain amount of points to help you win in one league, but not too many points to beat you in another. Just not fun. But I am all for, and you'll be able to see this with my team, is I'm all for just drafting players you want to cheer for anyway.
That's why you lost a lot.
Yeah, and I don't care. There's no money on the line. I'm just trying to have a good time. So, for example,
I know it is going to make me like pay more. I watch every game when it's on now.
yeah,
Because I feel like I just need to absorb all the information I can. So this is like a new level of learning for me, which is fun. Like I'm learning how this world works. I enjoy learning new things like that.
Yeah.
But also I'm going to be more invested into every game. Well, most games. I'm sure one of my guys will be playing every game. I should have, when we were at that event last week, asked Jake Bobo who he thinks I should draft.
you can't ask a draftable player.
Well, you know how many times I almost picked him up, and I was like, every time I would pass him up, I was like, sorry, Bobo, I can't.
So some of the things that I'll do, and I'll do this every year, is I always make sure I have one rookie that I really liked watching in college.
Yes.
That just got drafted. I'll make sure I try to get one of them on my team because it just makes it more fun. And usually those guys end up doing well because I do watch a lot of college football. I'm much better understanding the college game than the pro game in terms of like what players do well in what scenarios and stuff.
Is this Gardner Minshew's first season? No.
Ever?
No, in NFL.
No. He's been in the league now for 5 years.
No, he has not. He has
Something like
not
that.
been playing.
He was a backup in Jacksonville. He was a backup in Philly. And maybe a backup in Indianapolis last year.
Damn, he was drafted in 2019.
5 years. Tell me the teams.
You know
Hold
why?
on, no, tell me the teams.
What did you say?
I said he played in Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and Indianapolis.
Yep.
Was it all of them?
Yep.
And now the Raiders.
I'm calling Jordan in Puyallup because she called us.
Okay. Damn, that was pretty good.
It's impressive. And
Also, I do have a fun fact for Gardner Minshew.
Who?
Gardner Minshew.
Gardenscaping.
Hello.
Hello, Jordan.
How you guys doing?
I'm just happy to finally have a female calling into this show. Because
Oh, that's right.
when we
Now
did
I-
our night shows last week.
I have to update it 5-1.
But Jordan can be a
yes,
boy's
you're
name, just
welcome.
saying, just in case.
Okay, but
she's not.
She's not.
Well, I wanted to call in because Carla Marie, your draft story is too similar to what I went through on Sunday. And Anthony, I was totally you.
Okay, so explain.
Okay, so we're doing a family league. So it's my parents and our really close family friends. And one of them has never done it before. I always help my parents. And my dad always wins. And my brother's like, stop helping him. It's like, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So he kept saying, what do I do next? I go, I don't know. How many running backs do you have? How many wide receivers do you have? And he
Pause
goes,
for 1
I think
second.
I have one.
Sorry, Jordan. They're hearing you a little robotic. We're just going to try to fix something on our end.
I don't know why that
Wait,
would.
let me take my AirPods out. Sorry.
That shouldn't be doing it.
I don't think it's on your end, but let's see.
Like, what? We're using the same exact thing we did last week.
Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish I knew how the internet worked. I don't.
Let us know when your AirPods are out, Jordan.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Whatever just happened, everyone thinks it sounds better. So continue.
Okay. Stupid headphones. Yeah, so I just kind of, yeah, that's a good player. Then so our friend Chrissy, who I said drafted 8 Seahawks players, I didn't realize that till afterwards. And she accidentally drafted 4 quarterbacks.
Hey, it happens.
And we're not doing this flex league.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So after it settled down, she called me and was like, what the hell? You were supposed to help me. I go, you sat away from me. I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, listen, you might have a good chance week 1, but let's keep an eye out for some rookies and we'll help you out. But she got an F, so at least you got a D minus.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing, though. People pick up players, they drop players, people get injured.
Yeah, I'm going to scoop some up.
Everything is going to change by the end of the year. It doesn't matter.
No. And there's always the rookies that shine through, and there's always the ones you think are going to do great end up not doing great.
Yep.
And so I think that's what makes it fun. But Carly, I'm excited for you to do fantasy because even for anyone out there who's just a little interested, do a fun fantasy.
Yeah.
You learn so much more about the game. You get so much more invested. And even on the ESPN Fantasy app, you can just join the most random league ever and just have fun with it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to like walk by DK and be like, DK, my team is the DK Metcats. Bye. And see what he says. He'll be like, what? Who are you?
You should have him take a picture with your cats and make that
The
your logo.
DK Metcats. Oh my
Jordan,
God.
before we let you go, what is your team name? Anything fun?
Mine is a Minshew stash. I'm not kidding.
Oh, so can I give you, while you're on the phone still, even though it's not like you're going to not hear me if you hang up,
Right.
but I do have a fun fact about Gardner
right.
Minshew. So if you remember, there was a pretty successful series on Netflix called Last Chance U.
Mm-hmm.
It was about junior college football teams, and it would follow one team every season, and you'd watch all their games, and you see all the drama and whatnot. I forgot what season it is, but I was watching, and I'm like, man, this quarterback on the other team sounds really familiar. And because they would, you're hearing the announcers in the stadium while you're watching this series. And Gardner Minshew is
wow.
on one of the opposing junior college teams.
Was he a last chance kid?
Yeah, he went to before Washington State, he went to a junior college.
Wow. And look
So,
at him
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's Alabama went to him and said, "Hey, we see what you can do. You want to be our backup quarterback." So he agreed to go to Alabama. Well, Mike Leach, rest his soul, he came into Gardner Minshew and said, "Hey, would you rather be the backup's backup, or would you rather lead the nation in passing yards?" And that's what it took for him to get Gardner to WSU, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Do we have a football show now? Is that what we have here? I feel like
Yes.
America Football
And
Night with Carla Marie and Anthony.
Exactly. And you were correct 100% when you were going through his list. So I kind of geek out about him.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
He's a very, I mean, at least now his persona is a very likable guy. He's he's a full-on football dork and just loves getting the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Jordan, you have to let me know what Seahawks games you're going to come to this season so I come and find you.
Yes, I will keep you updated on that.
Okay. I appreciate it. Good luck in
You look
fantasy
great.
football.
Thanks. You guys look great.
You look great. Can you Bluetooth me?
Jesus, you know, you're asking me to do a lot today here.
I added 5 photos to this
and I
thing
can't look
today.
at the screen, and I got to do all these things.
Maybe more than 5. Did everyone see the DK Metcalf's logo?
Yes, I had it up there.
I put it up
I took it down after you had it up there because you
No,
just
it
left it on my face. You have to Bluetooth.
Wait, you put it in the middle of us.
Are you Bluetooth then?
We need who is blowing horns?
There's a train that's not too far from us.
We
No
need,
one else can hear that.
They definitely can. We need a logo for the different segment. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, because that's the only thing they did right, was make me a DK Metcats logo. And I'm going to say, hey, ChatGPT, we're talking about Fridgescaping. Make a logo.
And what are we using that for?
And it'll pop up on the screen. Like we're the little box as a news reporter.
Okay, cool.
None of it is
It's a
working.
great story.
I'm trying to Bluetooth it.
What do you want to
I
play?
wanted to call your brother Michael.
Oh, I can just call him from here. I need to figure out what his phone number is. Give me a second. Why are we calling my brother Michael?
I want to know.
I don't even know if he can pick up the phone right now.
What is he at a bar?
I don't know.
A club?
I don't know what this kid does. Let's see. Should I give out his phone number to everyone? 201.
Oh, he's a 201?
He is a 201. Did I get that right? Yep.
You don't know your brother's phone number.
I don't know your phone number.
Well, you've known him longer than me. It's not a good.
I've had less reason to call him. Let's see if this connects. I think I put his number in here.
If we call a random person, I'm still going to talk to them. But I'm like, you're listening to.
Hello?
Hey,
Michael,
there he is.
hello. It's Carla Marie and Anthony.
Oh, hello,
You're
Carl Marie Anthony.
You're live on Twitch.
He probably knows
I'm
that.
aware. I
Just
just
in
had to take my headphones off because I was hearing an echo.
Okay, so you were a part of the fantasy draft, but you were with a bunch of your family members in one place, correct?
Yes.
So when I drafted Austin Eckler, what happened?
I almost actually typed it out, but I didn't want to throw shade at my dad. But when my dad and my uncle react the way they did, you know you done messed up.
What did they
I'm
say?
going to have to text them.
I mean, even my dad looked at me and said, he's still playing?
I'll be honest. You know what? I did not expect my dad to be as good at fantasy football and as into fantasy football as he is, but he is on it. He really
I
is.
wish I taught my dad to play.
I'm a very gracious champion because not only did I help Carla Marie redeem the team that you neglected,
He did.
but I also made sure that Dad had the app installed, updated, printed him a cheat sheet, highlighted players that he likes and would want to have on
That's
his
pretty
team.
good. That's pretty good.
Michael, that's intense. I didn't get a cheat sheet or highlighted players.
Well, you didn't ask. I assumed you had Anthony, and that's my mistake.
Yeah,
Just
seriously. You live and you
leaving with
learn.
him.
Listen.
I cannot believe how, like, I lean on Anthony for, like, almost everything unless it's something that I really know that I am an expert in.
Okay.
Because he just knows so much useless shit.
Yeah.
So I expected him to know, and then I found, it's like, it's an ick now that you don't know fantasy football.
That's fine. It's
Well, like I told you post draft, Anthony has, and he said it. He drafts based on how much he liked the player in
Yeah.
college.
You're like a girl doing fantasy football for the first time.
Basically,
No offense to women.
I just want my team. I just want my team to have a good time. You know, I want to have a good time cheering for them.
Yeah, the only gripe I have with the draft, Carla Murray, is you left me holding the Rodgers bag when you took Trevor Lawrence to pick before me.
Wow.
So you picked Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm stuck with that guy on my team. I had to swallow my pride and just pray for points.
Yeah, see, that was going to be real tough for me because hopefully his other Achilles stays intact for you.
I can't remember
The
if
other
I
thing is that
continue.
I was going to say, to counter your I just want to draft people I like, there is some sort of catharsis when someone you don't like inadvertently benefits you. So you're like, okay, it's that spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yeah.
type
It's
deal.
like if you owned Tesla stock like 30 years ago, or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you could hate Elon, but he's still making you a ton of money.
I know. I get it. There was another question. Oh, so what did your uncle say then? I got beef with everybody.
What's that?
What did your uncle say when I drafted Austin Eckler, my favorite
You
player?
know what? You'll actually like this. He is the only one that tried to rationalize the pick. He was like, you never know. He was really good. He's going to get a lot of work. And I was like, all right, but it's still the Commanders, and he's not even a starter. And she took him in the second round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, he's not the starter there?
No, he's the backup.
Which-
Antonio Gibson is their starter.
I thought he was at least going to be their starter. That's
So
pretty bad.
should I drop him for somebody that has less points but actually play?
Let's reconvene. I'll take a look at the waiver wires, and we'll talk about it. We'll brainstorm.
You could also wait 1 week and see what he does week
I
one.
feel like that's a little too
Yeah,
risky.
he could be a great receiving option for them.
Yeah.
And the way that our league is structured, not to get into the nitty gritty, but there's not a lot of talent left on the waiver wires.
Okay. Well, my brother's a big Commanders fan. I can't wait. I need to tell him and get his reaction. He's like, "Are you an idiot?"
I can't wait
Only you
till-
could trade him cross leagues.
I can't wait till Austin Eckler has another breakout season and you end up with like an Austin Eckler jersey at the end of the year.
I'm a big Eckler fan.
We're all Austin Eckler fans today, and actually he's a big gamer guy, so he's always been a really near and dear to my heart player.
Maybe he's on Twitch right now
Let's
watching.
get him on Twitch and tell him I accidentally picked him. By the way, Michael, Nick commented in the chat and said, it sounds like that's a great freelance job for you, highlighting and doing printouts for people's fantasy football teams.
Yeah, it'll just be called yourdadslifeline.com. I don't like that, actually. Never mind. I'll work on it.
Yes, work on it. Use ChatGPT. It's great.
All right.
All right, guys. You look great.
You look great.
Look great. I love you. Let's see. Where? There it
That's
is.
so cute that you say love you.
I do. Listen, I went most of my life not telling my brothers I loved them, so I figure like now I can do it all the time.
There was something else I was going to say. Oh, I was going to be like, you look gay, but I wasn't sure if you knew.
What?
Because you remember last week.
What?
Last week when you thought that, who did we have on? Juan? Nick? I don't know, one of the dudes that called last week. And you go, did he just say you look gay? And then we had the whole conversation about how in June we're going to have you look gay shirts.
Yeah, you can't just say that out of context.
I almost said it to Jordan too. And I was like, I can say it to Michael. He might understand, but he wasn't here.
No. Okay, last thing on the list.
Oh, yeah. And sorry, Scotty. He approved in June only. Okay.
So last
Scotty's
thing
our
on the
platinum
list
gay.
is Party of One. You want to explain this? Because I don't know why you put this on the list.
Oh, this is great.
Now that we bored everyone to death with our fantasy football talk. And don't forget, if you didn't like today's show, we're doing it again tomorrow night.
We got nothing. This is
So-
everything I've had in my brain for days. So
We are going to be doing a Wednesday night stream, which normally we don't do.
At
But
all.
we didn't do Monday this week because of Labor Day. We didn't want to labor on Labor Day. So we're pushing it to tomorrow. And one of the goals is to actually have a football player. We're trying to figure out which one, a current football player, on with us tomorrow. What?
Should we get Austin Eckler?
Maybe he's not doing anything, apparently.
No, I can't. I'll never keep it together. I'll literally just be like, oh, my chair broke and fall.
So we're going to have, hopefully have a football player on with us tomorrow, possibly Thursday, to just talk
Thursday,
about.
they got games to watch,
Only 2 teams are playing.
but they got to watch them.
So to talk about the season, talk about some of the rule changes that are coming up this year, and explain a little bit about that. So make sure you are following this page, at least. If you're not subscribing, you can at least follow, and that helps us out a lot.
You know what's crazy for me at Seahawks games when it's a home game and I'm working? I'm like tucked away in a little corner, so I almost can't see a play unless it is happening in the end zone, right where I am.
You can't see the screens?
I can look up at the screens, but I'm spending 3 hours doing this, and it honestly hurts your neck eventually. So like, I don't know. I'm like, who was it? Did we score? It sounds loud, but I can't tell if they're booing. It's crazy. There are times though that I do get to see it. So,
and to answer some questions in the chat from Claire and Wendy, tomorrow and Wednesday, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. East Coast time.
Yes, tomorrow and Thursday.
So what is this party of one?
Have you eaten alone in a restaurant?
Oh, yeah. I've done it pretty often, honestly.
Have you eaten alone in a restaurant where there's a server? I'm not talking about Lil Woody's where you go order and you sit down.
I have.
You've been served.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got served.
Yep.
Okay, because solo dining, a whole study came out that solo dining at restaurants is booming.
Really?
Single person reservations have risen 29% at American eateries over the last 2 years. So it's according to Open Table. So people are going out of their way and booking one person.
So like you're planning on it. It's not like you just showed up and you got stood up or
also,
something.
if I'm on my way to a restaurant, I'll use Open Table to get the Open Table points.
Okay, fair.
That I'm not really sure what to do with anyway. So one woman explains why she does it, that instead of like doing a spa day by herself, like it's a treat yourself day, she'll go by herself to sit in a restaurant and read a book, do something she has to do, eat, and read a book, and that's her time to just decompress from the world.
I can imagine this being something, now hear me out. I can imagine it being something that parents start to do more often, and you're going to say, oh, but then you're leaving one parent home with the kids, or what if you can't get away? I could see this being something that parents agree on, right? If you're co-parenting with someone in some capacity, you go, hey, Thursday night this week, you're going to take care of the kid or kids. I'm going to go to so-and-so restaurant, and I'm just going to have me time. Because I feel like when parents do get time away from their kids, there's always a reason that they're doing it, right?
Like, why not?
It's girls' night or guys' night, or there's a vacation or a family function or a work function they got to go to. Why not give yourself time to enjoy a meal in peace, even if you're just scrolling through your phone or reading a book or something while you're at that dinner? Why not give yourself a chance to do that?
Japan has also seen an increase. Is that because
Japan's
the restaurants are so tiny?
No, Japan's also one of like the loneliest countries for adults.
Oh.
There's like an epidemic of loneliness. I mean, there's one across the globe, but it's probably the worst in Japan.
Fred the Mailman, I solo dine all the time. It's my time to decompress, and it's extremely my time to decompress is extremely necessary to me. I do enjoy it. It's just a matter of like making sure I put my phone down, because I can just sit there and scroll and eat.
But that's also, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
If that's your time, especially if you are, and I try to empathize with just busy parents as much as possible, because it's just a hectic life, right? If you are a busy parent and that is your one time to, even if you're just mindlessly scrolling, it's still your time.
Yes.
Away from your responsibilities.
I think that cell phones have made it more comfortable for people to solo dine.
Because you're never really alone?
You're never alone. Yeah. You're texting, you're like, oh, I'm busy on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. And I've gone to restaurants alone without that crutch, or when we didn't use our phones as much. And at first it's weird. It's like, is everyone looking at me? What, like, is this weird? And then you get to a point where you're like, yes, I am alone.
There was someone, it wasn't at a table service type restaurant. There was no server. But I was at maybe Little Woody's here in Seattle. I saw someone just enjoying their food and reading a book, and they didn't have a device on them. They didn't have a smartwatch. I didn't see a phone. And I thought, and they were a little older, and I thought to myself, that actually seems very calming.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I got to eat, but I also would love to read.
Yeah. So why not?
But how do you eat a burger and read a book? That's nearly impossible.
That is my problem. It has to be like a fork food, right? Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you can hold it and then...
Yeah, you can flip it that way. Have you seen it's like you put your Kindle or an ebook on a stand next to your bed, and then you lay in bed and there's a remote.
Seen that, yes.
Which, to be honest, that would be great. And then I would just fall asleep, and I'd be the happiest person in the world.
Run Like a Husky said in the chat, I don't really enjoy it. I feel awkward. And I think a lot of people do, because a lot of people assume
Everyone's looking.
When you're at the restaurant alone, everyone's looking at you going, "Oh, look at the loser that has no friends."
When
right?
I did my solo trip, it was at a like resort spa in Phoenix, and I was in my robe at like the spa restaurant, and there was like a group of like 6 women that like this was very clearly their like French trip, and they were like cheersing and having fun. And I was like, they're probably looking at me like, oh, look at all of us friends, and she has none.
What
And
a
I was like,
loser.
bitch, I'm on my solo location.
I do think maybe it's the older you get, you start realizing that you just want some time to yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be planned with other people. It doesn't need to be a date or a boys' night or a girls' night or anything
club
like
night.
that. There you go.
Dana and Marilyn said it's easier to eat alone at a restaurant if you can sit at the bar because it's less awkward. I think that's a great place to
yeah.
start.
Yep. But yeah, and also going back to like the difficulty of reading while you're eating, a Kindle would make things a lot easier. I remember Samsung, I don't know if they still have it. Samsung, on one of their phones, one of their big like new technological advancements they were touting was the camera would monitor your eyes. You would turn this on and it would scroll with your eyes so that you didn't have to use your hands to scroll if you were reading a long article or something. I wonder if that's like a thing.
I remembered that, but it was like a concept thing, wasn't it?
No, it worked. On one of my phones, I want to say maybe the Note 9 or something like that.
So you're letting it read your pupils?
I never had it on. It was probably reading it anyway, but
Yeah,
I never
definitely.
turned that function on.
It's got your fingerprint. Every time you touch your screen, it's fingerprinting you.
Everyone wants your biometrics, your fingerprint, your blood sample, your hair. It's insane.
Let's see. Social norms have changed. People don't look at solo diners anymore and think you must be a loner. That's a professor at Penn State. Psh, who cares what they say? Let's see. Oh, apparently there's a menu. So there's a upscale vegan eatery in the East Village in New York called Avant Garden. Get it? And they hired a restaurant consulting group to adapt their space and menu to the needs of solo diners.
That's cool.
Because what is true is if you're going to get a 2-person table and sit there by yourself and read a book when it could have been 2 people and the server could have been making more money off of your tips. But if we live in a world where tips don't matter, then.
The last thing I will say, you asked about Japan and solo dining. There were a lot of places, especially the noodle shops, like the ramen store restaurants. It was not uncommon to see people eating by themselves there. Like the one that I went to that was really busy that I ended up online at 10:30 in the morning for a restaurant that opened at 11. And the only
Never
reason
in your life.
I had no idea this was like a hot spot in Japan, but I by chance booked a one-night stay in a hotel in this part of town. And when I was coming home the night before, there was a line around the block for this place. I said, okay, it's got to be pretty good. It's next door to my hotel. I'll check it out. Got there at 10:30, and by the time I was like the 3rd or 4th person in line, by the time they opened at 11, there were I think 35 people in line at 11 o'clock in the morning.
You never in your life have been that early for something, nor have you ever waited in line for food like that.
I try not to. If I'm hungry, I want to eat. I'll just go to another
That's
place.
impressive.
But in that place, they only sat I think 10 to 12 people at a time because it was a small restaurant. I would, man. I think half of the people there were solo eaters. And I will say the one guy next to me, he was also a solo eater, showed up with his own bib, his own chopsticks. He was ready to go.
Was he Japanese?
He was a Japanese man.
So he just carries that stuff around?
But he was like
slurping?
Slurping.
That's what you're supposed to do.
He was eating that ramen like a professional ramen eater. He had it just ready to go. Slurping, getting all the broth, getting the noodles. And I was like, man, this guy is
impressive.
He practiced before he got here.
Okay, here's a great reason not to solo dine. So Dana and Marilyn said she recently had an awkward solo dining experience on a work trip. She was seated at a communal table, but she was by herself, and it was really hard not to eavesdrop. I 100% would be like, I'm here by myself. I'm just going to listen to everything.
But that's not eavesdropping. If they're at your table and speaking, they fully understand that you're hearing the things they're saying. Whether they're talking shit about someone or not, that's on them. But it is time for us to get out of here. Carla Marie, you ready to roll? Mm-hmm. We will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have at least 1 or 2 guests this week. We are working on some things. And I don't know where this flag is going.
Not a flag over the roof, the balcony.
What do you mean not a flag? It's a flag.
Not a flag pole. It'll just for football season.
No. I didn't say I don't want to be a flagpole house. I said I don't want to be a flag house.
No, we're going to put it right. 12. Oh, this is making my ears weird sounds. You don't hear that?
Good night, everybody.